Good morning, good morning. How are you all doing? Welcome to my channel. I am Art Walker 170 and I'm going to teach you guys how to draw hands today. So if you're not familiar with my work, you need to check it out. I do a lot of live streams and a lot of tutorials on how to draw different things, different body parts. How you doing, Rashawn? Nice to see you. Long time no see. Hope you're doing well. And to everyone else that is joining, nice to see you all. So as you probably know, if you're not aware of what I do, I do live streams, online live streams with free tutorials. So if you like this kind of interactive format where we all draw together, we all try and help each other, and we can all grow. I'm reading at the same time. I shouldn't read at the same time. I should focus on the screen, excuse me. So today I'm going to teach you guys how to draw hands. So all I ask you to do is hit the like button, and I will take you through step by step how to draw hands. I drew some anime. Good to see. I'm just going to focus today only on drawing hands. As you might know, I did Jotaro from JoJo's Bizarre Adventures the other day, so you can check that out if you're interested. So we've got 5 people in the room, and my question is, who cannot draw hands? So I'm looking at the list now and I can see, let's see who's in the room. We've got Nana grabbing weapons. We can do that. I've got Nana. I've got a few people in the room. Amy, Frank. Who cannot draw hands? Who cannot draw hands? Grabbing weapons. I think we'll be able to do that. If we're fast enough, we can do that. I can't. Good. You cannot. Brilliant. That's what I like to see. Who else? So Dagny, I'm going to make a bet with you. I can draw main idea of how overall muscles have been a bit of a struggle. Good. Hammy, I'm going to bet you as well. So I've got 2 people that I'm going to bet that I'm going to teach you within the next 10 minutes how to draw hands. Are you going to bet with me? Make a virtual bet. 10 minutes. Pia, I'm going to teach you how to draw hands in 10 minutes. The bet is, if you learn how to draw hands in 10 minutes, then you have to subscribe to my YouTube channel. That is, usually I ask for a Bentley, but I'm not asking for Bentleys anymore. I've got 75 in my garden. But now I'm just going to ask you to subscribe to my YouTube channel. And drawing a small, when drawing it small is too difficult. Yeah, so I don't need any more Bentleys, right? So the bet is on. Wicked. That's what I like. But make sure you pay up, or I'm going to have to send Rashawn after you. Good. So grab a piece of paper. I'm going to give you the opportunity to grab a piece of paper and a pencil or a pen, and then we're going to get into this. So let me know when you've grabbed the pencil or pen, and I will start the clock, as they say. I'm just going to get rid of that. Good. Everybody ready? There you go. Rashawn he's my enforcer. So the time is now, let's call it 10:05. It's probably heading towards 10:06, right? So let's go. Ready, everyone? Let's go. What does this look like? What does that look like to you? What does that look like? Anyone? Pentagon sounds good to me. Pentagon, good. But what I call it is a crooked house, right? So it's a house on the side. So let's call it the crooked house. And then what have I drawn here? Literally in the middle here. What shape is that? What shape is that? Triangle. Simple, right? So wherever you see me draw a circle, that represents a joint. Wherever you see me draw a line, that represents the bone of the hand, right? So we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So now we have this. That's basically what we have. Now I'm going to add thumb. The proportion we'll discuss later on. And now we're going to go, this distance here is roughly to here. So I'm going to add all of my corresponding fingers like so. Remember, circles are joints. So let's add 1 here. This helps me orientate myself. 2, 3. The fingers get slightly smaller. So and so. So now I'm going to add some cylinders, right? You have to imagine them. These are 3D cylinders like that. But the way I draw them now, they simply look like rectangles. I'm adding, so this adds a bit of mass to my wireframe hand that I had there before. Like so. So now all we have to do is add our muscle and skin. And then we have a hand. So I've still got, that was 3 minutes. Who now knows how to draw hands? What can I say? What can I say? Albert is laughing. He's like, oh. So oh, I can explain some more to you guys. But this is this is the basic foundation you need to draw a hand. Who still does not know how to draw a hand? That is the question. There you go. Yeah, if you're freehand, it's okay. This is not the only way to draw hands, but I'm just saying that this is a way that does actually work. Well, I need to practice, not just you. Everybody needs to practice. I am constantly practicing. So there's no one fix to anything, right? There's no one fix to anything. You always have to practice, always. And I consider myself quite good with hands, but I still have to practice a lot. That's a hand, yes. The nose one you can find on my YouTube, Art Walker. You go to my YouTube. I've done a nose one already. You can find a nose one there. Whoops. So who bet with me and who has now lost the bet? Yeah, we all sort of need references. I'm just going to stick to the script here. We're sticking to hand drawing. So who bet with me and has now lost the bet? So you need to jump onto my YouTube. You got to try. Another pen. Okay, good. I don't know where everyone's gone. Everyone's vanished. All the ones that bet have vanished. Yeah, where's Dagny gone? Yeah, Rashawn is exposing people. Where's Dagny gone? There's a few in the house that bet with me, and they're now gone. That is terrible. You see that? Isn't that deflating? That is so deflating. Oh, you're still there. Where's the other one? I'm going to search you guys up for the ones that decided to. I'm still here. You're drawing. That's the one, Pia. Okay, so we still got some time actually. I've still got another. What did I say it was? 5 past. Yeah, I've got 4 minutes. So I've just wasted time trying to find you guys and girls. So let's go a little bit deeper into this, right? Remember what I said. Remember what I said. We start with, the wrong one. This one's a bit thin. We start with this crooked house, right? So you have to remember that, and maybe make it a little bit narrower there. I think I made it a bit too wide there, but that's all right. That's just something minimal, right? So we go with the house, and then we go with the triangle here. You see that? So that's basically what we start with. And once you start with your crooked house and your triangle, you will always know how to draw hands, even if it's just a basic hand flat like that. And I call it the crooked house because when I taught kids, you could say pentagon, but they identify with a house a little bit easier. That's what I find, right? Right, good. So let's look at the hand in more depth. So you have to remember the hand is not a flat object, right? It's a three-dimensional object. It has a thickness. So you have to look at this hand. Let me use the same color. Look at this hand like this. So draw this shape now. So we've got this kind of wedge shape here. So when I draw that, I'm sure you understand what that is. Do you understand what that is? Do you understand what that is? Your friend need this. Oh, well, just forward it on. Yeah, just say, we're here to learn. We are all here to learn. We are all here to learn. So if you make a mistake, it doesn't matter. I won't block you straight away. Maybe if you make 2 mistakes, I'll block you. No, I won't. I'm not that bad. I'm only joking. Thank you. You're awesome. You're welcome. You're welcome. So what is this? What is that? What have I just drawn here? I like to question to make sure everyone's awake because I have to try and stay awake. I do. You go onto my YouTube and look up Art Walker back drawing method. You go onto my YouTube, there it is there. That is a really good one. And that is my technique as well, not somebody else's. Yes, it's a 3D version of this hand. See, so what we've got here is this. You see that? Why have I got this YouTube thing coming out here? You see that? So that is basically what we've done here. And then what we did, we also added here the thumb. So that's what we've done. We've turned this flat object into a 3-dimensional object. Thank you for the kind gifts, by the way, Jay and Reggie. Do you see what I mean? So that's the basic shape you need. So whenever you draw hands, when you think of this type of shape, like so, if I draw it like this, you automatically realize, okay, you can put the thumb on this side or that side. It's up to you. But you know that this is the basic shape of the palm. And then what you need to do is, how you doing, Andy? Long time no see. Add the thumb again. You see what I'm saying? And that gives you a good start point to understand how to draw hands. Has anyone got any questions? I'm good, mate. And you? Long time no see. And it's funny, I haven't done a hand drawing tutorial for weeks. And now you're back here. You've stumbled across the right one then. This is the best one to do. I'm wondering how to draw the wrist without the wrist without making the arm look weird? Well, this is something, I'm going to drag this image out actually, that you have to understand. Here, we've got two bones in our wrist, and they cross like so. Maybe not as extreme, that's a little bit extreme there, but they do actually cross like this. And on the outside you have that slight bulge, right? And then you can add your muscles onto the bone here. Do you see what I mean? So it slightly narrows here. And then we have the outer bone here, and this bone runs under here. I'm going to have to, unfortunately, go into that drawing here. See that? And then we have the arm and elbow details here, roughly. It narrows here and it broadens out here. And then we have a slight gap there. I would probably put a little bit more of a gap there. And it narrows like that. That's what I would do. Yeah, we're going to do that in a minute. I'm good, Nelsy. Long time no see. Oh, I see. Yeah, that's why you have, when you look at the wrist, you have to remember that the wrist is actually two bones and they actually cross each other. Once you get that, then you get that good shape, and it narrows here where the muscle should be. It starts to narrow there. I don't think I've got an example here. What's that one? No, I don't have one. No, I don't have it. But you get what I mean. So, but we're going to do this in stages. We're not going to draw something holding a glass or a weapon yet. It's too far ahead. Yeah, that's where we're going there now. That's where we're going now. So, if you draw, these are not circles, they're spherical objects, they're spheres, right? So you have to imagine that these are spherical. And if you like what you see, please hit the like button. And if you really like what you see, you subscribe to my YouTube channel, because I've got nearly 1,000 followers. I'm really happy actually, because I don't think I've been doing it very long, the YouTube thing, and it's starting to grow. And I'm actually looking to do my lives on YouTube. So if you like this kind of video, you need to jump onto my YouTube, because I've actually downloaded OBS Studio and I'm going to put my study in. I haven't been on yeah, okay. Get well soon. So I will be moving to another platform very soon. So be aware that if you don't jump on it now, you might not see me. I'm not sure when, but this channel don't want to pay me for what I'm doing, even though I want to encourage people to become better artists. So I digress. So we've now changed this flat hand into a three-dimensional hand, right? This line here, this blue line here is very important, all right? This blue line, the wireframe line here, don't forget that is very important. So now, if we add the wrist, I can't remember who asked the question, but if we add the wrist here, we have a slight gap here, and then we cross the bone, like so. You see that? I've crossed the bone, so that helps me when I want to draw a forearm that has the right curves, and where you need to add your muscle, and where you have your muscle on the wrist, and so on. So this is how I would do it. All right, I just draw a cross here, an X, and that helps me define where the wrist belongs. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw this blue line, right? So this blue line here is at the top of the finger. This is very important. This blue line is at the top, and again at the top. Then I'm adding my joints. 1, 2, a bit lower, 3, even lower again. And then I'm going 1, 2, again here, roughly the same as here, and then lower still, right? Like I said to you before, yes, it's YouTube, yes. You got to go. Take care, Nelsie. Get well soon. I'm going to be going to YouTube, and I'm very close to getting 1,000 followers. Very close. So if you're in my live and you want to see this kind of stuff, go to my YouTube, join it there, because I've got the software and I just need to sit for a few tutorials on OBS Studio, and I will be going onto YouTube very soon. So like I said to you here, these green rectangles just give the bone thickness here, right? The wireframe blue line is going to come in very, very important later on. You just have to be patient on that one. So these green rectangles are actually cylinders, right? So imagine those as cylinders, right? So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to add one cylinder here and here and so on. So now we have gone from a flat hand to a three-dimensional hand in under 20 minutes, because I was rambling a little bit. So I think that took us around 20 minutes to get to this point. Oops, I didn't add the thumb. The same here, here and here. So now we have, almost looks like a virtual reality kind of robot hand. Do you see what I'm saying? So now we've got this hand that was very flat, two-dimensional. And then now we've got a three-dimensional hand. We can see some of the side, the top, and so on. All we would have to do is actually add the skin and the muscle. Am I? No, it's not. Really? No. Please, to the 100 that's in the live now, if you all subscribe to my YouTube, you'd make my day. I would celebrate. And then I would probably give you all a free lesson. I am doing that already, but never mind. Never mind, eh? So, how you doing? I'm drawing with mail. DJ, how you doing? Long time no see. How do you draw Spider-Man's? I can show you that. And I've actually got a really, really good image of that. The Spider-Man hand like that. I can show you that. Just reach 1K. No, did I? Thank you to the 111 that are in this room. I will never forget you. I'm going to actually screenshot that. That is too nice. This is why I do it. This is exactly why I do it, because sometimes I feel like the world is falling apart, and then I go online, and even the live stream I just done before, there were so many cool people in there, and it just gives you hope. I'm going to start now. I'm getting all welled up, mate. No. But you know what I mean? Sometimes you think, oh man, you need something. People need to have something good going on. And like, this is why I do this for free. This is exactly why I do it. And I get so many cool messages from people, and they write to me and they say, thank you, Art Walker, because now I can draw this, and thank you. You know, and it's like, oh, I'm so happy. And I'm not doing this for the money. Never assume that I'm doing this for the money, because I'm not. I'm doing it to help people, because I've got my job. I don't need to do this. Thank you to all that have subscribed. I appreciate you. Really do. So let's go back to this. Is everyone clear as to how I've done that? Buongiorno. Come stai? People really You know, I rant a little bit, but we do, we do need to. There's so much negativity going on, and that's why I like to, because I didn't go to uni and study art, and I've learned a lot of this myself, and I really want to help people. I know I'm only helping people to draw, but drawing I think is a therapy for the world, if I'm honest. Yes, good. So everyone's getting that. So let's draw. Let's draw the hand from the side. So now we've gone literally in 20 minutes into how to draw a hand, and now everyone knows what this means. Does everyone know what that means? Self-taught teaching others. Oh, nice. JJ likes men. Sure got that name. Yeah, yeah. That could get you into trouble, saying that you like men. No, yeah, don't worry. Yeah, yes, no, not only the thumb. That is the thumb. However, that is a hand from the side like that. All we need to do now is add our blue line, like I said, the blue line at the top here and here. We add the other joints. We add our cylinders. It's a little bit long. The hand is a little bit long. I should shorten it to about here, really. And then we add the thumb. So we now have, oops, wonky thumb. I've gone a bit off with the thumb there, excuse me. So we now have something like this. You see that? This is a little bit wonky, excuse me. My distancing is not right here. And I'm going to talk about the distance in a minute, actually, as I've made that mistake. So now we have a hand from the side like that. Isn't that lovely? Thank you, Very Fox. It's a palm, exactly, with a connecting thumb. So now, any time you want to draw a hand, start with the crooked house, then add your triangle. All right, so if that's my crooked house, then you think, oh, which side is the thumb on? And obviously, if you see the thumb or not, that's another question, but that's a little bit high level. Then you add your joints. This line is at the top, and I'm going to explain that to you now, why I keep pushing that. And then you get in your rhythm, and you've got your stepping stones as to how to draw a hand. Usually, this is not always the case, but this distance between here and here is the same distance between your longest finger and here. So you've got this distance here. It's not always the case. To here. You see that? It's roughly the same. So if you have problems with your hands looking a bit strange, certain fingers looking a little bit too long, just measure it like that. Just like that. So this distance here should be the same as this distance here. And it's pretty much spot on. Between here and here and here and here are roughly the same. Should be there. Yeah? Where? Oh, excuse me. Is that better? Is that better? Can you see that? No, these are not complicated. These are easy. So we've got a few people that have just joined, right? That have not, they've missed the first part. You've missed this is being recorded, by the way. It's not complicated, I guarantee you. You can do this. Thank you very much. And if you like what you see, please hit the like button. And if you really like what you see, join my YouTube. I've got the OBS studio and I've now got to overcome my fear of software again. Right. But I will do it. I will overcome it. Right. So we're going to get a little bit more complicated now. So let's get a little bit more complicated. So now, well, hands approaching can be very complicated. And hands do have a lot of, what's the word? It bends and contours. I don't really have a good example here, but I'm just going to quickly fly through here and see if I can grab one. This may not be the best example. Here we go. These are a little bit more complicated. Yeah, I'll use that one. There you go. See, now you can see here, right? Let's go back to this one. What I've done here is I've just simplified all of the bones and turned them into circles. I've turned, all of the joints, all of the joints into circles, all of the bones into cylinders. Very simple, right? And then now what we're going to look at is how do we view these objects when they're approaching us, when they're going away from us, and so on. Like, say, for example, here, or here, or here, right? Or even here. This is what we're going to look at now. This is a very extreme version of foreshortening, but it illustrates how you can draw a hand using the technique I've just shown you. Yeah, if you go to my YouTube, you'll find one on there. Flexing on. No, I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't flex on beginners. No, I'm here to support, not to flex. Oh, dude, that's too funny. Cheers, mate. Right, so we're going to go a little bit further. If I'm missing any comments, I apologise. It might be. Oh, don't. Really? No. Yeah, I don't know. I've heard that before. I've heard that Leonardo thing before. And we do draw quite similar, actually, to be fair. But obviously, I'm not going to compare myself to him. $74? What does that mean? Keep flexing. I don't mind. Do you mean this kind of flex? No, I'm not. I'm joking. So, all right, let's look. Let's draw. If I draw this, and I've told you this line is at the top, now you see how you can draw a finger. See that? So we've got this. We've got a finger. Right? So if I draw this, what is that? What is that here? I'm going to help you out. I'm going to give you a little bit more info. The knuckles, right. Exactly. So now we've got the knuckles. Exactly. So chances are we're not going to see all of the knuckles, right? So now what I'm going to do is this line, that blue line that I keep emphasizing should be in the center. I'm going to draw it here, 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 and here. Then I'm going to add my joints. I'm going to try and keep the pens color coordinated here, here. It's slightly obstructing, and this one we probably wouldn't see much, right? Then you add your cylinders. One, this cylinder we'll see, this one we'll probably not see as much. So now you have to think about where does this line go. So this line would go backwards here, right? So in theory, we wouldn't see that line anymore, right? Because we've got the joint here. The line would be running under here. And then we add the fingertip. So now we've got something that is resembling a fist, a closed fist. Let me see if I've lost everyone with that one. Let me see if I've lost everyone with that one. No, no, not... Oh. JJ, I'm worrying about you now. JJ likes men. She said, balls. No. I think you like men too much. No, it's not. Oh, no. A nose. Oh, God. It's just, there's always one in the class. A nose. I hope your nose doesn't look like that. It's not a thing. It was the knuckles. Yes, Anime Extra. Just follow me on YouTube and go through all my videos. That's the best way to learn to draw. Sassy is the wilting rose. It doesn't work. Does it help you now? Does this help everyone? But, okay, but it's not that bad. You can still see clearly. Okay, you guys are having a conversation. Let's try and keep the chat down a little bit because I have to read everything. I join them already starting to understand. Brilliant. I use it doesn't really matter. It doesn't really matter. It just depends on how heavy you like your pen, what thickness. Some people like heavier pens. They put sellotape on the tip here. It's just down to you, your personal preference. Oh, 100%. To draw better in a year, 100%. You can make huge jumps in a year. Maybe, I'm not sure. That's an I. This looks boring to learn. Well, if it's boring, you may leave. You don't have to stay. I'm sure that the 102 people that are here, my YouTube is Art Walker. The 102 that are here, I don't think they're finding it boring. So you may leave. So, okay. So now we've got, let's finish off this fist. So we are roughly looking, I've pushed that, I'm going to put that a little bit closer to here because it would actually bend underwards under this here. So we have roughly got something that resembles a fist. Sketched up very, very quickly. How you doing, Caldwell? You get it? Oh, you just get bored. No. You're not. You shouldn't get bored. Sometimes learning is boring, but you have to go through that grind. I don't want to leave, but I need to. Okay, sorry you have to go. Nice to see you. What about the inside of the palm? Well, if you look at this hand here, this could be the top, or it could be the palm. Do you see what I'm saying? Obviously, the wrist here is not right because this bone here would be this bone here. All right, so it's obviously this would be the top. But if the bones, well, if the forearm wasn't there, that could be the palm, or it could be the top of the hand. Hello, Alex. How you doing? Yes, I'll post this on YouTube. Yeah. One of the best ways to orientate the length, as I said, is the palm to the knuckle here, to the longest finger here. It should be roughly the same. And everyone, like, even this finger here is slightly longer than this one. So these are all variables, right? All variable. And if you look at the thumb should roughly get to around here, but everyone's different. To around here, the length of the thumb. So here it might even be a little bit long. You're welcome, Sassy. You're welcome. Has anyone got any questions about what I've shown up until now? Anyone got any questions? Can you tell me if I'm learning art? If you're learning art the right way? Good question. I don't know. I don't know how you're learning art. I'm sure you're not only learning from me, right? But if I'm going to recommend anything to you, I would recommend that you learn things in stages, stage by stage. So, that's a good point, Alex. Very good point. Right, yeah, we can do the hand holding something now. It's a very good thing to do, art. And whatever art that may be, go for it. A slender thumb, long thumb. Okay, well, if that depends on your initial triangle here. Do you see what I mean? So if that is my initial triangle, I'm going to make it slender and long. So I'm going to extend that even longer. I don't have to draw this all the time, but if I wanted to draw a slender, long thumb, I won't draw the cylinders. I'll just draw the thumb itself. I would just draw it like that. And wherever you've got the joints, that's where you slightly bulge it. You bulge your line wherever the joint is. And then you've got a slender thumb. Do you see what I'm saying? And then let's do another one. Well, I wouldn't use this framework anymore. I can just pretty much draw it without any kind of framework, and then you would have another thumb like so, and you slightly bulge it at the joint, and then you've got your thumb drawn up. But underneath, this would be the framework that we would have to guide us. If you see what I mean. So we've got the slight bulge here, joining the hand. So this would be the hand, the palm, and so on. Let's peek that out a little bit more and take that in. And then we'd have the palm here. The thumb can be quite tricky. The thumb can be quite tricky, especially because it's got quite, there are many angles to the thumb, you know. It can go quite far. But let's get into a little bit of foreshortening quickly. What's the time? Yeah, we've got about 15 minutes. So let's get into foreshortening. So if you don't know how to foreshorten anything, one of the things that I tend to do, what I find quite easy, but I don't draw for comics or anything like that. You need to look at someone that is a comic book artist. But what I do is I just draw this. If I want to foreshorten something. See, so if, say for example, if I want to draw a fist here, right? I'm going to draw, let's draw my crooked house here. Like so. And everything that I draw has to stay within these guidelines, all right? So this is my fist. I'm going to draw my knuckles here. I'm slightly off the paper. That's annoying. And then I'm going to draw my thumb would be here. I'm going to do this again because it's off the paper. But I'm going to just finish it off. Forearm would be here. All right, the thumb would be here going underneath. We're not going to waste time with that. Forearm would be here. As you can see, it's slightly narrowing. Then we would have bicep area. So let's call it upper arm here. Then we would have the shoulder. And there we've got a fist coming towards us, for example. And that could be our superhero flying towards us. And you could even do another fist here if you wanted to, and you could do the same shoulder, upper arm, forearm. And then we've got a superhero flying like towards us like that. Exactly, Superman, exactly. JJ's got it. See? So that now we could do the same thing if we wanted to foreshorten. Let's draw our crooked house again. Like so. I want a fingertip to be here. And then I want it to, no, in fact, I'm going to make it even bigger. Because I want to foreshorten it. So the circles represent joints, become larger the closer they come towards us. So we got 1, 2. We're going to add our cylinders again. 1 and 2. And then we have our fingertip here. I'm going to add my thumb. Like so. So now we've got a hand or someone pointing like this. And that's why I find that this technique, it works quite well, because then you can, say for example, look at an image and break it down. This is very exaggerated, right? This finger looks extremely long. But if you have a Marvel character, you know, you have their hands coming directly towards you, you can do it in that way. See, and we just add the 4 fingers here. And then we've got a foreshortened finger. I love watching you. I'm too lazy to learn. but you can, yeah, but I suppose you can't, yeah, it is a bit slender, man. Yeah, it is a little bit too much, but you get my point. You don't have to be so aggressive with your foreshortening. Let me just look at what other one can I show you. Has anyone got any questions while I'm here? I'm trying to think what else I can show you. Oh yeah, excuse me. I remember holding things. That was what you said. When I don't draw very much with regards to, yes, yeah, I'll do the fingernails in a minute. Yeah, I forgot the weapon one. Sorry. Yes. So what I would do if I was you, right? Depending on the weapon, right? So, let's say this is, I don't know, a sword or a piece of wood, whatever. So what I like to do is I like to draw the object first, then I'll draw the hand around the object. Do you see what I mean? So now if I was to, I haven't got anything to grab, but if I grab this, you can see where the knuckles are. You can see where the crooked house is. And we could literally draw that here. All right, so let's add, I would add the knuckles first, for example. I'd probably add the largest one here. 1, 2, 3, and the smaller one 4. Then you can say, right, okay, let's add this one. Maybe we'll jot it out later on. We can go like so. We're going to probably see a little bit of the finger here, right? So we're going to add a little bit of finger here and so on. Now, remember what shape do we add for the thumb? Just testing. I'm at school. Yeah, I would learn the 2D first and then go on to the 3D. Exactly. So that's where, you see, we know our triangle belongs here and we see one joint here. So let's add our triangle and we see part of the joint here, and the thumb would probably be hidden behind this object, right? As it is here. You might just see a little bit of it, right? So this is our triangle. And then what we can do is, obviously we can fine tune it. And let me fine tune this a little bit. And then we have a hand holding some sort of object or weapon. Because this part we can't see because it's hidden. But that's how I would do it. And you can use your own hand as a reference. Oh, thank you, Killer Rick. Do you see what I mean? So that's a good start. And then you could play around with that. And then you can say, okay, it's holding the weapon, but you want a couple of fingers to look a little bit more, a bit stray, you know. You don't want it to be clenching it. And then you just do exactly the same thing. You draw your crooked house. So let's say we want one finger to be slightly lifted. So we're going to go like this. We're going to add our largest knuckle here. Like so. This would be behind. Remember the blue line that I told you to always be aware of, because then it tells you where, if it's going backwards. So let's draw that blue line just so we know. And then we want these fingers to be tight onto the object. So this could be, I don't know, I could actually change that into a gun. Let's change that into a gun. The handles are looking a bit weird, but if I wanted to change that into a gun, you could have that finger. You see that? You see how fast I turned that into a gun? So that finger is now holding the trigger. And we've now got a gun. Someone holding a gun. Yeah, the other way round, obviously, we have to, there are many problems there. So let's go the other way round. So this is our handle of whatever description. You're going to see, what are you going, now you have to think opposite. What are we not going to see? So we're not going to see our crooked house, right? If you imagine it's like that, I can't get my hand around it. I have to lean like that. So if you imagine the crooked house is going to be like this, behind the object, but we're still using the same principle. Now, our thumb is going to be visible. So let's put it here. Depending on how it's holding it, right? This is our triangle in theory. Joint. And then the finger, the tip of the thumb. So now we're looking at the palm. See that? That's the palm. However, it would stop around here. This, we probably wouldn't see that because this would be, yeah, this is not right because the sword would actually be here. Excuse me. The sword would actually be here. So we wouldn't see that. Now we add these joints here. Like so. So we're only seeing this knuckle here because it's going to be covered. These ones are going to be covered by those knuckles here. So in theory, we're going to see just this. That's the actual handle. We would see that there's the, I don't know, the sword handle or whatever, and that's what we would see. I was joking. I think I've missed a joke or two. I have drawn digitally, yeah, but I don't do it because I want everyone to learn how to draw the old school way. You see, so that's how you would draw a hand holding, and obviously now I can add some heavier lines and details and then fine tune this to whatever level. But I think that's a good stepping stone as to how, and obviously you know, I'm doing this reference free, but if you have a reference, that would help a lot to get that really good look and feel as to how a hand would be holding something like a sword. And this would all be the handle and shaded. Let's just shade it. Yeah, well, I'm not using any references. I haven't got anything here. This is just all from memory, but I would use references as a beginner. And if I don't know how to do something, I will definitely look it up. Get someone to hold a sword or something that's similar to a sword, and then you can get the right look and feel. Yeah, this one is tough because you've got you've got your main knuckle here. This one here is at the back, so that's, in theory, we're not seeing that. And then you have your front knuckle here at the front, so they stack up on each other, you see what I mean? And that's what makes it a little bit tricky, but that just takes practice. You're not going to pick that up straight away. Excuse me, I'm just going to get a sweet and then I'm going to have to slowly wind it down because then I have to get ready for work. But you got it, yeah. So you have to understand how to stack cylinders on each other. So if this is behind, then this is at the front. Our blue line would be running here to here to here. And then if that joint is going backwards again, or the fingertip is going backwards again, we wouldn't actually see it because the finger is going this way. So let's add our cylinders, and the finger's going backwards here, so this line would stop, and then we would see, oops, this way. My alarm's gone off. It's a bit of a tricky one. Because we've got these, excuse me, I need to just, these stacked circles. Does that make sense? And the more you tip it, the less you see. This, so we would have something like that. You got to go to work. Yeah, I've got to go. Yeah, got to go and make some money, mate. I've got to go. Okay, someone else is going. Have a good day. Thank you for joining me. Exactly. And obviously when you draw fingers and hands, there's a lot of movement. We've got a lot of movement in our hands, right? So that's also what you got to think of. So fingers are not always directly straight. They can spread quite wide. There's a lot of movement to the hand. You have to try and understand it. It's not easy, and I don't get it all the time. Sometimes I draw things and I think, the angle's not right, or I don't want to draw something and it looks like a bad symbol. But let's draw a fist from the side. See, and now I'm stacking the knuckles, and then I don't know, it could be someone holding a pole or something, so that we've got one more joint here, and then we've got a pole here. And obviously, as I said, just grab a reference, take a photograph of your own hand holding something if you get stuck. But the principle here of the triangle helps a lot. And knowing that you got your crooked house here, I think it helps. Thank you very, very much for the gifts. So that was 1 hour. And I think I have to go. I'll take a couple more questions. And then hopefully, yeah, thank you, JJ, for joining. I hope you learned a lot. And if you got a couple of questions you may ask before I jet off, you're more than welcome. I'll be on tomorrow. I've got the day off tomorrow. So I might do something pretty cool tomorrow. So you all can draw hands now. Is that what you're saying? To the 70 in the room, you all now know how to draw hands. I will take a picture of this and I'll post it. And I'll post a video. Excellent. Glad to see. Yeah. And you just have to keep practicing. See, look at this. I've got sheets. And these are only practice sheets. Look at that. I don't get it right every time. And it works. It does work. But it's a lot of practice. And then you get to this. Now I'm flexing. Then you can take it to this level. Thank you, JJ. You too. Have a lovely day. Thank you very, very much. I appreciate you all. And thank you to all that have subscribed. And thank you very, very much for your support. And I'm trying to support you. And I appreciate that you are trying to support me. Always flexing. Take care. See ya. Bye-bye. Have a good day, everyone. Take care.